Hello everybody, great to be with you all again. So next live stream is going to be on Thursday, which will be the 10th of October at 3:30. So hi there to everybody. Hi to Yuri and Renyard. Hi to Sergey and Chaya. Hi Manisco and Oksana and Julia. And let's see if we got anyone else here as well. Okay, that seems to be it for the moment, but I'm sure we'll have some more in a second. So, we were doing this article about dehumidifiers. Yeah, and with a bit of luck we can finish this one today without problem. So, okay. So, it will, however, significantly drop, reduce, shrink, dwindle relative humidity. This was, I think, about opening the all of the windows and letting all of the air exchange, and as a way to get rid of the of humidity in the house. Okay. So we've got reduce from Sergey, drop from Julia, Chaya goes for reduce, Oksana goes for reduce. Okay, so let's see, it will dwindle, drop for Manisco as well, so dwindle. No, humidity, relative humidity will dwindle. Will shrink as well, and will drop, but the action will drop for reduce from Renyard. So notice the relative humidity drops, shrinks, dwindles, but your action reduces the relative humidity, and therefore it's got to be reduced. Let's go for the next one. Professor Noakes also recommends this method, noting that it can be particularly, specifically, peculiarly, distinctively effective right after cooking or washing, activities that tend to raise relative humidity. Hi Ronan, English through football. Great to see you, Ronan. Yeah, I remember this account. So particularly for Oksana, particularly for Roland, particularly for Sergey. Okay, so opening all the windows, he says, is a good method, particularly after cooking or washing. Yeah, things that make the house damp, particularly for Yuri as well, and particularly for Renyard. Okay, distinctively, if something is distinctive, you can tell it's got something that identifies it very clearly. Peculiarly is strange. Specifically, but this specifically, no, particularly, it's particularly, especially very effective right after cooking or washing. And continue. Dehumidifiers are also useful in more extravagant, violent, fierce, extreme situations. Hi Isa, lovely to see you, Isa. Extreme for Isa and Oksana. Extravagant for Yuri. Extreme for Sergey. Extreme for Druidov. Welcome Druidov, good to have you. Extreme for Afterwork. Good afternoon, Afterwork, or good morning, Afterwork. Extreme for Ronan. Extravagant is about people. Okay, Chaya says extravagant. Extravagant is spending lots of money, is going too far. Hi, Elliot Kaonga, welcome. A wedding feast is normally extravagant, with all of the best and the most unusual things. An extravagant meal where we ate caviar and all sorts of other things. Hi Dhruv, hi Elliot, great to have you. Okay, so if something is extravagant, or extravagant is spending a lot of money on something. Extravagant, bohemian. Yes, it could be bohemian as well. Okay, extreme for Yuri. The event was very extravagant, with people dressed up in all sorts of strange, extravagant costumes, unusual, extreme, but an extreme situation is different. Yeah, is when the conditions are extreme, whereas extravagant talks about people using all sorts of strange things. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, so let's continue. British manufacturer Ecor Pro makes professional models that are predominantly, overall, occasionally used to dry out homes that have been affected by flooding or severe leaks, according to the company's technical consultant, Jerry Gibbs. So, we've got some answers here. Predominantly from Isa, predominantly from Renyard. Predominantly for Ronan. Predominantly for Druidov. Hi Human H, lovely to see you, Human. Okay, so predominantly for Oksana as well. Predominantly for Sergei. Predominantly for Human. Predominantly for Yuri. So conventionally, this is what people normally do in this situation. Overall, mostly, that are used, that I would say that are used overall. Overall goes afterwards. Pre means before, yes, Druidov. Predominantly for Yuri. So, dominant, something that is dominant is the most powerful. Whereas something that is predominant it's most common. It's the one that is most seen. And you see this more than most. Rather conventional than extravagant. That's very good, Yuri. Yes. So if something is predominant, it's the one that the one that predominates, the one that you see most of all. But one that's dominant means the one that's most powerful, and that's very different. This can take a long time. We tend to be speaking, discussing, telling, talking about weeks rather than days, he says. Talking, says Oksana. Talking, says Isa. Talking, says Human, and talking, says Ronan. Speaking, says Yuri. Talking, says Sergei. Discussing says Chaya, discussing says Druidov. Speaking says Oksana. Talking says Renyard. Hair. Glibbing says Yuri. Discussing says Athelwork. Okay. So, we seem to be telling about. No. You tell somebody about something. We tend to be discussing, but not about. Discussing weeks rather than days. But to discuss is to talk about a subject. We were discussing politics. We were discussing which football team was the best. So firstly, you normally only discuss without about, and the meaning is different. Now, I think you could use speaking about and you could use talking about, but I think talking about is the most common. So when you're asking for a ballpark estimate, are we talking about hundreds of euros or thousands of euros? Are we talking about years rather than months? Are we talking about something very expensive, or are we talking about something that is reasonably affordable? You could use speaking, yes, but and it makes sense and it's not wrong, but most commonly in this place, when you're asking for a rough estimate, are we talking about this or are you talking about this? You could say speaking and there's nothing wrong with it. Let's give them something to talk about. That's very good, Druidov. Yeah? Something to be speaking about. I honestly don't know. But are we? What are we talking about when we're? Beating around the bush? Not really. Are we? So, talking about is a ballpark figure, an approximate figure. So, what are we talking about? Are we talking about something big or something small? It's to define something more clearly. You could say speaking about as well, but talking about is much more common. Flibbity gibbeting. I quite like that, Yuri. So, it's gabbing. So, dehumidifier manufacturers, creators, builders, executors have over the years made improvements to motors, compressors and fan blade design to reduce the noise produced by these devices, adds Mr. Gibbs. Okay, this looks good. So we've got manufacturers for Druv and Oksana and Isa and Sergey. Hi Nina, manufacturers for Nina and manufacturers for Renyard and manufacturers for Human. One question, what's this word executors? Yeah, I guess designers would work as well. Very definitely. So a builder. No, a builder builds houses. A creator is an artist. Manufacturers for chaya as well. So dehumidifier definitely manufacturers. But what is an executor? An executor. Office executor. To me an executor, not in... Executors of Nikolai II family. Okay, the executor of a policy, normally in English the executor is somebody who carries out the last will and testament of someone. Okay, so the when somebody dies, they leave a will and they say all my things are going to this person, and then they name an executor to do those actions, and that is an executor. Okay, the executor is the person who executes the will of a dead person. Okay, and that is the executor, a different one for you. And let's continue. The doer, but the doer, so doer of a last will and testament. And Mr. Michael at Miko says his firm's quietest models give, discharge, emanate, emit about 35 decibels, equivalent to the noise a quiet fridge would make. So we've got emit for druv and emit for isa. "35 decibels. I honestly don't know what 35 decibels. Let out, yes, Yuri. Emit for Sergei and emit for Human as well. Emit for Nina. Give off is okay, yes, but it needs that off, Sergei. Emit for Oksana as well. Okay, normally to emit a noise, give off, discharge, no. Emanate. So to emanate is come from, the noise emanates from over there. Okay, a radioactive material emits radiation. Yes, Dhruv. Emit for Renyard as well. So the quietest models emit about 35 decibels. Mrs. Martin has noticed the sound made by her dehumidifier, but it doesn't bother, mind, matter, issue her. So emit for the last one, very definitely. To give off. Yeah, something definitely can emit good vibes. That's a good collocation, Yuri. So bother for Sergei and Dhruv, bother for Isa, bother for Renyard. Okay, issue, no. Issue normally is a noun. He has an issue with this. Bother for Chaya and Human and Renyard and Isa and Dhruv. And Sergei as well. Bother for Athelwork. And bother for Chaya as well. So, but she doesn't mind about it. She doesn't mind about it. It doesn't matter to her. Exactly, Chaya. But it doesn't matter to her. It doesn't bother her. But she doesn't mind about it. Bother for Nina and Oksana. Good. Yeah, it doesn't matter to her. Well done, Chaya. That's good. Okay. It doesn't bother her. It's not a problem for her. Let's see. Issue. It's not an issue for her. It's not an issue for her. And it's a small price, cost, charge, toll to pay for the comfort provided by the device, she says. It doesn't pet peeve her. But no, so let's see, Yuri, it's not her pet peeve. Yeah, it's not, but it's not one of her peeves. So, price for Nina and Chaya and Renyard and Sergei and Dhruv. It's a small price, it's a small cost, it's a small charge, it's a small toll to pay. Price for Human, charge for Chaya, price for Oksana. Okay. Normally a toll is something that you pay on a road or to cross a bridge or something like that. A charge. Charge is normally money that is charged. Yeah, and I think it's a small charge to pay. It is talking about real money. It's a small tax to pay. I think, Nathan, tax is talking about real money as well. Yeah? Cost is real money, but it's a small price. I think a price is definitely more metaphoric. Okay, I'll add the live class timings at the community tab. I will try to remember that. Smoking takes its toll on my health. Absolutely, Sergey. To take a toll on, but that's slightly different. Given that damp, not humidity, is such a persistent and dangerous problem in British homes, she even recommends that dehumidifiers will would be supplied by landlords for tenants. So, Human goes for R, Sergey goes for R. Isa goes for B. Oksana goes for B. Let's see what the rest of you say. This is one of my favourites. It's interesting they use this. Bunking off your live stream takes a toll on my English. Would be, says Chaya. Let's see what the rest of you say. Okay, so that they will be, definitely not will be. He recommends that they will be supplied. No, it's not possible to use will be, Rainyard. Would be for Bunny. Dhruv is not very sure. Okay. Recommend that plus a present subjunctive. Well done, Isa. That's exactly it. You know it's my thing, Oksana. Absolutely. So, that dehumidifiers be. So, it. Oh. Recommend that plus present subjunctive. Should be would also work. Well done, Nathan. Okay, so not would be, but should be supplied. Should be would work. Let's see, are. You can use are, and many native speakers will use are, but I'm much happier with this be for a present subjunctive. Recommend that dehumidifiers are supplied. I suppose so, and I can't say it's wrong, but recommend that they be supplied or that they should be supplied. Well done. It helps everyone, she says. It's going to help sustain, defend, maintain, bolster the property. Okay, I recommend that, is essential that, I suggest that, it is a must that, plus present subjunctives. These are, Yuri, these are structures that take a present subjunctive. So, Human says maintain, Dhruv says sustain, Nina says she's not sure, Chaya says maintain, Isa says bolster, Sergey says maintain. Nina says maintain. Oksana says maintain. Mr. Khan, hi Mr. Khan, says sustain. Maintain for Rainyard. Bolster from Bunny. Okay, so let's look at these. To bolster is to make stronger. Lionheart goes maintain or defend. Maintain the condition of the building is what Sergey's saying. Sustainable development, but that's slightly different. Help to defend the property. I think it could fit. I think defend could fit. To defend the property from damp. But okay, it's going to help defend the property. To sustain. Normally something to sustain. Food sustains you. Money sustains you. So to stop things getting bad, it's going to help defend the property. Defend is quite good as well, but to help maintain the property. Okay, let's start the next one then. That was the very last one in this. The insect that painted Europe red. And this article is about the colour red. And let's start here. A truly vibrant red was evasive, elusive, equivocal, fleeting for many years, until a mysterious dye was discovered in Mexico. Elusive for Nina, evasive for Dhruv. Mr. Khan goes for elusive. Let's paint the town red. Absolutely, Yuri. Evasive for Sergey, evasive for Human. Paint the town red, yes, Mr. Khan. Elusive for Bunny. Bunny Oddbeck. Okay, this is quite interesting. Okay, let's first of all look at this word equivocal. If something is equivocal, it's not clear. It doesn't call a spade. It's not direct. So politicians are always giving equivocal answers. Elusive for Oksana, elusive for Rainyard, elusive for Lionheart. Something that's fleeting is something that lasts a very short time. It doesn't last very long. Now, evasive and elusive. If something is evasive, it's avoiding you. And if something is evasive, it's taking action so that you don't find it. For example, the criminal is trying to evade the police. And to evasive, it means that this red is hiding behind trees and hiding in a hole and doing all sorts of things too, so that it's not to be seen. Whereas elusive just means difficult to find. Yeah, it means that you have difficulty finding it. So it's elusive. The answer eludes me. You can't find it. Yeah, evasive is more active. I think it's probably more elusive to you, Yuri, because, well, otherwise it's running away from you. Okay. Devon Van Houten Maldonado reveals how a smashed, broken, squashed, crushed bug became a sign of wealth and status. Okay, something that is fleeting. It only lasts for a very short time. The life of a butterfly is fleeting. It's there and then it's gone. A mayfly has a fleeting existence of one day. If something is fleeting, it comes and it goes. The enthusiasm of the crowd was very fleeting. It was there for a few minutes and then it went. So something that's fleeting is, it's there and it's gone. It lasts for a very short time, momentary, ephemeral. Ephemeral, yes, definitely. Evanescent, good, Reynard, good, yes. Short-lived. So let's look at this. Crushed for Isa, smashed for Mr. Khan, crushed for Oksana, squashed for Human. It could be squashed too. Crushed, says Sergey. Okay, a broken bug. No, it's not a broken bug. A bug, an insect. Smashed means broken to pieces. You smash a piece of glass. Crushed for Sergey and crushed for Reynard. If it's squashed, I get the idea that you stand on it. But here they're putting this thing in a pestle and mortar. Let me write that down. A pestle and mortar. And you're crushing it completely. To crush. Yeah? Okay, and definitely this is a crushed bug. A crushed creature. Okay, one more and then we're going to finish. This is going to be the last one for today. Although scarlet is the colour of sin in the Old Testament, the ancient world's elite was thirsty for red, an allegory, symbol, metaphor, monogram of wealth and status. Pestle. The pestle is the bit that you hold in the hand and the mortar is the cup. And you pestle, mortar. I once wasn't allowed to take a pestle onto an aeroplane because they said it was an offensive weapon. Allegory for Mr. Khan, a symbol for Isa, a symbol for Sergey, a symbol for Human, a symbol for Oksana, a symbol for Dhruv, a symbol for Reynard. A monogram has the initials of your name. So Reynard the Fox, RTF would be the monogram, or OT, Oksana Timoshenko. Allegory is a story, yes, Dhruv. An allegory is a story which parallels something else to teach you something else. A symbol says Lionheart. Old Testament is part of the Bible, yes. Thousands of years ago. A metaphor is where you say that two things or one thing is something else. A metaphor is like a simile, where an allegory is a story where something happens which is similar to something else that happens in life. So I don't know, the fables that we are told, these are normally an allegory is something that is similar to something else, but it's normally a story. Okay, symbol for Chaya. Scarlet Woman, yes, Mr. Khan. The rain was a blessing for the fields. Okay? The rain was a blessing. The sun. Rejuvenated our feeling. The sun was a lady with yellow hair. Okay, those are metaphors. A simile uses the word like or as. A metaphor says that the two things are the same. So here it's going to be a symbol. So the man looked like a fish. Simile. The man was a fish. Metaphor. A handshake like a dead fish. Simile. His handshake was a dead fish. Metaphor. An allegory is a story about this, about things, to show how we should act. So, symbol, poetic device. So enough for today. Let's see. Next stream, an interference. Next stream is on Thursday, which is going to be the 10th of October at 3:30 p.m. UK time. It's been such a vibe. Good word, Yuri. Yes, that looks pretty good to me. So thank you all for coming. It's been great having you all. Thank you, Mafu. And here we go. Thank you to Chaya and Dhruv and Lionheart and Human. Thank you to Mr. Khan and Isa and Mafu. Thank you to Manisco and Nathan and Oksana and Renyard and Starry and Yuri and Sergey and Lionheart and Human and Ashiesh as well. So welcome to all of you. It's been great. It's my pleasure, Renyard. Ist. I don't know, Ist. So, great to see you all, and I hope to see you all on Thursday. Take care, and